of laundry on somebody else's line. And I add up rows of figures for a business that isn't mine. We rent a gray apartment above a King Street grocery store. We cling to our lives like clothespins and ink, and there isn't a penny more. The stomach's on the sound, they say, rise and fall with the changing tides. The sawmills all are silent, and the shipyards high and dry. Well, the mines in the mountains are closing, and the compressors are shutting down. Trains out of Leadville and Telluride, jammed with people leaving town. Even if they've got the shelves full, there's no money to spend in the place. It's a feeling all around you, makes you hide it away just in case. $6 pieces, all I've got to show for this life. An outside chance if I should die, who'd care for my children and wife? It's the panic and Republicans and the agricultural squeeze. It's the Bering brothers' failure, got this country down on its knees. Well, the papers cry the reasons, and 1 million of them have been found. I only wish Hearst could print coins on his press and let the newsboys pass them around. Well, they broke the strike at Pullman, Coxey's army's on the road, and a silver-tongued voice in the streets of grass, crucifixion on a cross of gold. God, if I had a chance, I would take it. I'd gamble it all on a hunch and be done. I'd throw down this pen and rip off my apron. I'd hope for the best and run. Have you seen the morning extras? Heard the noise down at Schwambutcher's Wharf? There's a dream ship called the Portland with a ton of gold on board. Well, they say there's a strike in Alaska or way up north somewhere, and every man who can stake out a claim, well, he'll come back a millionaire. God, if I had a chance, I would take it. I'd gamble it all on a hunch and be done. I'd throw down this pen and rip off my apron. I'd hope for the best and run. Well, it's off with clerks and grocers, with barbers, cops and rogues, streetcar drivers, doctors, and preachers in their robes. Well, the mayor of Seattle, he's gone and quit his job with that town. Our chance, dear love, please pray for me. Well, it's off for the Klondike Unbound. Look to the north country, up where few men have been. Listen there in the virgin country, there's gold upon the wind. And the wind blows across the countryside, spreading the word both far and wide. There's riches here for the taking, the dreamers are awakened to the cry. Lift up my feet and I'm moving along, be by horse or by ship or by train. The golden hills at the end of the trail resound to the sound of my name. Up through the coastal mountains, the cold wind's blowing at my back. Pull my coat around my shoulders, 'twould be a sin to turn back. Look at all the eager faces, drained empty from the strain. A pick in one hand and a pan in the other, with metal more precious than grain. Lift up my feet and I'm moving along, be by horse or by ship or by train. The golden hills at the end of the trail resound to the sound of my name. Snowflakes blur the frightened eyes, no one hears their anguished cries. All alone in their last hour, the golden nectar turning sour. The gnawing of a greedy hunger, only gold can quench the flame. Men die in the cold of winter, but who is to blame? Well, lift up my feet and I'm moving along, be by horse or by ship or by train. The golden hills at the end of the trail resound to the sound of my name. And the snow is black with blood. Count the corpses of the dead, stiff and lifeless in the snow. In death I wonder if they know. but others followed, thousands more. Opened up the Yukon door. Well, they took 10 million from the ground and laid 500 bodies down. Well, lift up my feet and I'm moving along, by horse or by ship or by train. The golden hills at the end of the trail resound to the sound of my name. Okay, if the Ballad of the Yukon is the adventure and the getting there, people that got there. Wake up in the morning, there's so little time. Get myself out of the bed, head back down to the mine. 54 above Bonanza, Tom Lippy's claim. $45 a day, all I got to my name. If I had the time, I'd write a letter to my mother and tell her that I'm on the take. I'd tell her that I made it. When I heard the call, August of '97, I headed north, quickest I could come. Booked passage on the Alki, a steamer up to Dai, and took myself up over the Chilkoot Trail. Then down the trail to Lindeman Lake. That's where I built my boat. Dear God, what a mistake. The rapids, they were bad. I lost all that I had. Cut lumber for a steamboat man to get another steak. When the ice broke, dear God, what a scene. I think I'll always remember it, even in my dreams. 7,000 boats, all set sailing from there, heading off for the Klondike from the bottom of the Golden Stair. "53 below, outside in the night, smoke rising straight against the northern lights. Down here below, cold as hell, digging for gold at the bottom of a frozen well. When I docked on Front Street with my raft and my kit, God knows the tears from my eyes fell. I was so glad to have finally arrived. But now I just work all day in another man's mind. They staked the claims out a full year ago. None of us knew when we left from down below. They staked the claims out a full year ago. None of us knew when we left from down below. Okay, let's give her a try. Summer is a-wastin' and the clouds above swim over, 'cause they feel a heavy snow a-comin' on. And the foreman, he just told me that they cannot let me go till they put new tie and rail through Berthoud town. Well, down, down, put me down, come on, mister, put me down. Well, break my back on your railroad track, but tomorrow I'll be northward bound. It's wages that we're here for, not friendship, love, or kin, and the sun's rising higher in the sky. But the daydreams of the beers we'll drink on a Friday afternoon are all shattered by the dawn's eternal cry of down, down, put me down, come on, mister, put me down. Well, break my back in your railroad track, but tomorrow I'll be northward bound. The grating of the master's voice, the ringing of the malls, where they fade into a hazy shade of gray. Well, the picture in my mind is a cool September night when my lady and I finally slip away. Well, away, away, gone away, I never told you that I'd stay. Well, the northern wood is where I'm bound, $10 and the girl I found. Well, thank you, sir, but I'm not around to lay tie and rail through Berthoud town. This is called First Steamboat to Dawson. And if you spent some winters up here, you know that when the ice breaks and the green grass first starts to poke its head through that brown mat that's all over everything. Everything's been gray and brown and white, all, and black all winter long. And everything sort of starts bursting into spring. It's a real exciting time. Well, I tried to imagine what it would have been like to have been in Dawson back in the gold rush, or in those times, and to have had the first steamboat arrive in the springtime. Now, that's a heavy one, right? I mean, they've been locked up, in this ice box all winter long. No word from the outside, no nothing. And all of a sudden, coming down from the river there. Everybody gets all excited. Well, anyway, this song is kind of like that. First steamboat to Dawson. It's been a long, lonely winter, but now the spring is coming. Yes, there's warm air on the breeze, buds blossom on the trees, and the ice breaks in the river. It's been a long time a-waiting, but now the ship is coming. Yes, there's warm air on the breeze, birds sing in the trees, and it's time to get back to the garden. The garden, I'd forgotten about the garden. See the steamboat a-comin', well, there's black smoke a-boilin' round the bend below the town. Everyone here gather round, 'cause there's news aboard from the outside. And that's not all. There's things like chicken, turkey, eggs, fresh and worth an ounce of dust. There's whiskey, rifles, gumboots, clothes, and women as soft as turtle doves. Well, shake all the snow from your whiskers. Come up out of your diggings just to see the light of day. To hear old friends say, it's good to see you again. Well, now, bring all the gold from your bookshelves, all tied up in handkerchiefs and bound round with string. Hear the whistles sing. We're all rich men, rich men, rich men. Tonight, tonight, tonight. We're all rich men tonight. There's a boat sitting at Carcross in the Yukon Territory, the most beautiful lake steamer in the world, and she's called the Tushai. I'm trying to pretend like I was living in Atlin and trying to go home, and this is what I would have been thinking about. Oh, the White Pass boats keep steaming all the way to Ben My Cree. Out of Partridge on the dock there with his darling wife Louise. Then we stop at Engineer, blow the whistle loud and clear. Too shy, too shy, too shy, too shy, bringing in the morning mail. Too shy, bringing in the evening lights. Paddles crashing against the lake. My God, I love her, heaven's sake, she is a sight. Civilization in the night. Too shy, too shy, too shy. Sawmill coming up on the starboard bow. Taku City dead ahead. Half throttle, boys, we'll take her slow. Up the Alinto, we'd be dead. Too shy, meeting the morning train. Too shy, traveling wind or rain. Thank you for bringing me home again. Atlan, next stop around the bend. Yes, I know. Oh, 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 come on now, watch those paddles go. Come on, come on, come on, too shy. Too shy, too shy, too shy. I'm going to sing you a song right now that's the last song on this album. And it's called The Last Voyage of the Princess Sophia. On October 26, 1918, the worst marine disaster on the West Coast happened between here and Skagway. A ship bound from Skagway to Juneau hit Vanderbilt Reef and sank with the loss of all on board. So I'm going to tell you a story right now, and it is a story. And part of it comes from talking with some old-timers that were there and remember it, and a couple of them that didn't sail for one reason or the other. So this song is called The Last Voyage of the Princess Sophia. Steamboat boys are coming. Old Skagway's on a spree tonight. The Yukon's froze up and there's snow on the ground. We're all heading outside on the next high tide. Every berth is booked and there's no room to be had. There's piles of trunks on the wharf. The dock boss is screaming out orders to his hands to a shrieking of protesting pulleys and booms. Sophia is getting up steam. Gotta cast off before live day. Dawson's a fine place in August. Fireweed blooming crazy through the night and the day. Beneath the scar on the dome, I've raised family and home. But when the stern wheelers get winched up the frost-lace waves, we draw off our checks and wait for the flowers again in the spring. Sophia is getting up steam. Gotta cast off before light day. The jam of men in their thick overcoats, the women in winter shawls, wide-eyed children like Eskimo dolls. Watch the Christmas-sized flakes swirl down, down, down. Falling heavy in the blizzard on Skagway town. Look alive, all gotta cast off before light of day. Up the gangway they jostle, and there's scores more waiting in vain. 386 have her full to the rails. The Sophia's the last steamer south for a month. In God's name, cried out a voice in my ear, I've gotta get south on this boat. My mother in Pittsburgh is dying. You can read the wire if you like. It's here in my pocket and I'll pay you well. I've just simply got to get out. Please sell me your ticket and let me go home. She needs me. And I took a long look at the hurrying throng as they made their way up the plank. Felt the snowflakes brushing across my nose, swirling blizzard ship in the night. And a feeling went through me, a shudder quite queer, and I've never been able to tell if I gave my ticket to him in pity or to postpone my own journey to hell. Steam whistle wail, lost in the snow, muffled by mountain walls down the canal. Cast loose the lines, engines thudding alive. The Sophia backs off from the wharves of time. And I watched as the snow dropped a curtain of white between the lights along her hull and the black of the night. On down the canal, wrapped in the dark of the storm, the Sophia strayed her course in the wee hours of dawn, and the shock of the crash knocked the passengers from sleep as the Princess Sophia struck Vanderbilt Reef. But she didn't take water, she was held fast. The people were calmed by the captain's request. Don't lower the boats, the hull is still tight. We'll float with the high tide and get off all right. With daylight a wire brought assistance from shore, a score of small craft that had heard her distress. But the seas were still high and the storm still in force. Too rough to lower boats was the captain's firm choice. Besides, the Alice is steaming this way. We could save cost of salvage if we wait one more day. There's even the chance the tide'll float us free. It's too early to tell, we'll just wait and see. So they sat and they waited all through the day. The people relaxed and the ship's band played. It was a festival mood, there was laughter and song, while the small boats bobbed close the whole day long. Till late afternoon when the north wind rose and they beat for refuge on the darkening shore. No one knows what happened that night as the blizzard screamed round her lonely lights, and the passengers lay huddled in their cabins and beds, watching the waves swing the lamps that hung overhead. But the force of the storm brought an unseasonal tide that lifted Sophia's stern right up to the sky, and as the captain watched helplessly, she was ground across the teeth of the jagged rock shoals of Vanderbilt Reef. Of her plates being torn from beneath, water rushing into a hissing of steam, terrified screams from the steerage below as the sea pushed her free from her perch on the shoal. Too rough to launch boats, no time for alarm, no help nearby in the teeth of the storm. The Sophia has turned from a ship to a stone. My God, we are sinking, screams the wireless phone. Icy cold water, black of the night, fumbling for life vests in the failing light. Where are the children? Which way to the deck? All lost in the vortex of the booming wreck. when the Alice arrived in the light of day. Not one passenger remained to be taken away. The tips of her masts breaking sea at low tide marked the grave of the Princess Sophia. Elizabeth Kitch, the Manchester Rhine, and Alexander, owner of the engineer mine, and the boy bound for Pittsburgh whose name I don't know, and the steamboat families all bound for below. And the gold in the safe, and the freight, and the mail, not a single soul left to tell the tale. Just a bedraggled setter, all covered with oil, washed up on the shores of the Lynn Canal. Well, they cut down the tops of her masts one day, so as not to frighten travelers who passed where she lay. And it's years been now, and the memories are few of the people that remember, oh, the people who knew. And the summer tourists come by the thousands to see if the inside passage is all that it claims to be. And I wonder if any of them pause to hear the crashing of the waves on the rocks so near. And I wonder as I watch the lowering sky if we're going to have a storm when you cast off tonight. Thank you very much.